right? So, I wanted to shed light to one particular thing was that, like I said, Little Kim was never actually signed to Bad Boy Records. So, here's an article here from, say, Showbiz, right? It says, Diddy is the founder and CEO of Bad Boy Records. Diddy founded Bad Boy Records in 1993 after being forced out of his position at Uptown Records. His first signee was his good friend Notorious B.I.G., who had already made a name for himself rapping on the streets of Brooklyn. We already know that part. Bad Boy Records ended up representing East Coast rap during the infamous East Coast versus West Coast hip-hop feud in the 1990s, while Suge Knight's Death Row Records, with its platinum-selling artist Tupac Shakur, represented the West Coast. Bad Boy Records had many iconic artists on its roster over the years. Faith Evans, The Lox, Total, 112, Mace, and Foxy Brown have all been signed to the label at one point. Janelle Monáe joined Bad Boy back in 2007 and has been signed in the label since today's. She joins rappers French Montana, Machine Gun Kelly. Now, here's this. Little Kim first met Diddy in the early 1990s as a friend of Big. She would end up she was an up and coming rapper herself, but Diddy was wasn't impressed with her and didn't think she had what it takes to be a successful female rapper. So think about that as well. How many female artists that Diddy has signed throughout the years? He's mainly only signed singers. He's never really signed female rappers. Biggie did bring me to Puffy. She recalled in 2011. She recalled in a 2011 interview with MTV News. He said she's too pretty to be rapping. Female rappers don't look like her. What am I supposed to do with her? Diddy never signed her to Bad Boy Records, even after her 1996 album Hardcore had sold over 1 million copies. According to Vibe, Diddy never signed her because he didn't think female rappers were capable of making platinum records. So, interesting tidbit there that Diddy never even signed Kim to begin with. So he's running around with Kim and Junior Mafia, but Junior Mafia and Kim are not signed to Bad Boy Records whatsoever. They're mainly signed to Big. And people didn't know this, but Big's main partner was Undias at the time, which we will get into in a few. But at the time also, Little Kim necessarily, she had a lot of flack for her music, unfortunately. She had a lot of flack for her music, and that was because she was extremely young. She was a little kid in the beginning. She was a very, very, very young kid. She even talked about it on the Ed Lover interview, where she mentioned...
Yo, see, Ed Lover Show is Power 105.1. Me and Kim in the... Yo, see, Ed Lover Show is Power 105.1. Me and Kim in the building talk about the Notorious movie. Now, you just telling me that this is the first time I've ever heard you admit that you were the mistress.
Yeah, I mean, he was married. That's no secret, and
right.
That's not something I'm proud of. I was a baby. Like, people think, oh, Kim, I've been in this game so long, I'm so old. I'm really not. Like, when I came out, I was a teenager.
Right.
I had to wait one more year till I turned 18 to sign my contract.
Really?
Yeah.
You a baby.
Yeah, when I came in the industry, I was a teenager. But, my music was so mature, they were afraid to say that I was a teenager.
Before you met Big, were you already writing rhymes?
Yeah.
You was already rapping? Mm-hmm. How much influence on your style did Big have?
A whole lot. I was Big's biggest fan before he even got big. We used to go to block parties, right? Just know.
Justin's in the building with his aunt brothers.
Yes. So, I mean, we would really support him. Mm-hmm. Because me and C's sister were best friends.
Right.
So I knew C's, since he was little.
Right, and knew Biggie since before the deal with Puff and before getting dropped from Uptown and before Bad Boy and before all of that. Was Junior Mafia always in the works for you guys? Was that always something that he was going to do?
Well, those was his little homies, and so he just wanted to bring them. I mean, Big was just... he loved a family environment, so he just wanted to bring them up and have them doing something. He knew half of them couldn't rap, whatever, but he was just like, I want them a part of our situation, and so he always had that kind of vision for that.
So interesting there, right? Little Kim said herself she had to wait till she was 18 to sign that deal, and she was a teenager at the time. So just doing a little bit of research there, being the fact that she was 16, 17, let's also be conscious of something here. In 1996, so Big died at what, the age of 24? I believe. Yeah, Biggie died at the age of 24. So in 96, she had just turned 18. Interesting enough here, look at this. Look what it says her age is in that year. It says she would have been about 22 years old then. Which you clearly just heard she was not. So she put about 4 extra years on her age, when she was clearly only 18 in 1996. So of course she's in the club in 98 when she's actually 18. But as we also would know, she was in the clubs way before then. It would seem that back then, it was more of an industry practice as far as the young females that were the proteges of the artists back then, or the rappers, or even the promoters back then, to be 16, 17, some even like, I think it was Gloria Velez, 15 years old. These girls were super, super young in the industry. And for her to be talking about the sexiness that she was talking about, it was pretty much frowned upon. It was very, very frowned upon for her to be talking about sucking this dick and that dick, and used to be scared of the dick. Now I throw lips to the shit. That's 96. She's 16 saying that shit. Excuse me, 17 saying that. No, actually, yeah, because the album was recorded by a year before that. So, yeah, she's about 16, 17 saying that. And, of course, people didn't necessarily take that with a grain of salt.